Hey guys, so in this video I thought I'd just go over a quick demo of the Evertune and how it works, and the ESP LTD Evertune guitar. So I've had this for a couple months now. It works really well. Probably the thinnest necks I've played on. You get used to it really fast. It's very fast and thin. Jumbo frets are great. Action is really easy to adjust. I'll show you how I'm in zone 2 and how bending works, and just a little quick overview. So to make sure we're in zone 2, we go a little sharp, then back down. So for this video, the last time I tuned this guitar was at least a month ago. So I haven't tuned this guitar literally in a month. So we can check it here and see how it holds up. It sounds good. It definitely doesn't stay perfectly in tune, but it does a pretty good job. Yeah, so now that we're in zone 2, let's do some string bending. So you can get some pretty high bends, and then just be in tune still. It intonates chords really well all the way up the neck. Play a bar chord on the E for the E. So one of the things that is a little different than a normal guitar is subtle string bending. It doesn't really register, so let's see. I mean, it's pretty close, but you gotta get a little bit of a bend before you start hearing the difference. On the bigger bends you really don't notice at all, but just on, it's just more like a feel thing on some of the smaller vibrato. You also, it doesn't make any noise through the pickups, but you can still hear the strings a little bit through the bridge. It's really subtle, but you can hear just a little bit of noise here. Not distracting at all while you're playing, and when you're plugged into an amp, you'll never notice. It's very comfortable. It's really easy to adjust the action, intonation, and everything. One of the things that's kind of annoying is when you adjust the intonation, and if you have a guitar like this in playing position, you put this key in down here, it falls out really easily, and that can be frustrating when you're trying to make these fine adjustments, and it keeps falling on the ground. Tuning is really easy. Adjusting string height, super easy, really fast. Probably one of my favorite things about this guitar is it doesn't matter how hard you strum the strings or how hard you press down with your fingers on the strings, it's still going to sound good. So I can lightly fret this A chord, or I can push down really hard. Ridiculously, I would never play this hard, but okay, I'm pushing as hard as I can. Sounds really close. So that's really nice, especially with jumbo frets. A lot of the times, jumbo frets are so big that the harder you press down, especially on the stuff closer to the nut, it'll go sharp. But here you don't have to worry about that. You can strum hard or soft. And this is a 1.4 pick, so that's pretty thick pick, and it still sounds great. So let's check how well the tuning has held up in the past month. Again, I haven't tuned this guitar in over a month. So E is pretty well in tune. It's just a tiny bit flat. Yeah, it's pretty good. A is just a tiny bit sharp. Barely though, it's really close. D, just a little flat. Again, very close. G looks pretty much spot on. B is just a little sharp. E's pretty good. So after not tuning a month, I barely had to make any adjustments at all. Really close. And that's with a strobe tuner. So the neck, it's a neck through guitar. Feels really great, really comfortable, easy to get up on the 24th fret. Yeah, the cutaway is really nice. The only issue when I got this guitar is the high E string was just sitting like on top of the nut. I had to get a nut file and file a little bit just so it would fit through. And this tone knob, if you can see it, sticks a little bit towards this side. Not a big deal since I never used the tone knob really, but that's kind of, you wish these things wouldn't show up on a guitar that costs over $1,000 retail. So for tuners, we have Grover tuners, which are nice, feel good. Yeah, I mean, tuning is pretty easy, feels great. I did notice when I take off all the strings to clean the fretboard or whatever, I do have to re-intonate and retune. It's not like you can't just take off all the strings, put on a new set. Even if they're same gauge, same brand, you can't do that and expect them to be in tune. You'll have to still tune it. But if you break one or two strings, or maybe even more, and you replace those strings, it should go back to tune just how it was before. So that's pretty nice. So one of the things I'm not a huge fan of, the EMGs. I mean, they sound good, especially for metal. They're really good for high gain, but there's not a whole lot of different sounds with this guitar. Still sounds good, but not my first choice for pickups. The guitar, it looks good, but I kind of wish that there was other options other than just the kind of metal looking black with binding and EMGs. So if you guys have questions, feel free to leave comments and I'll try to reply to you. Great guitar, I really like it. It's perfect for rhythm, really. It's good for leads, but it's just missing a little bit of the feel. You just don't feel the vibrato quite the same. It's not as easy. You have to bend strings a little further. It's not quite as easy to bend strings. But yeah, I mean, it's great playing live. You don't have to worry about tuning during the middle of the set. So I was interested checking out the bridge after I saw those videos online of people. I'm not going to go through and manhandle the guitar and mess with the strings and then show you that it stays in tune, because lots of people have already done that. But I can't say it's just a solid guitar. very nice. And if you're looking for an Evertune bridge, this is the best way, I think. That way you don't have to sacrifice your guitar or spend, you know, hundreds of dollars making a modification to a guitar when basically this guitar, the Evertune bridge saves you like $500 or $600 by being in here. So yeah.